Hello everyone, Siren 2007 here. In this episode of Radios in Depth, I am going to be reviewing a older Midland radio, which at the time I'm recording this video, I've actually only had it for 2 days, but that didn't really matter for the review, and that radio is the Midland 74109. So with that being said, here we go with the review. Okay, so like I usually do, before I get into any of the features and specifications, I am going to give a general overview of the radio. So, this is basically how every single radio in the 100 series is going to look like, except for the very rare 107. So yeah, as you can see on top, it says Midland, Weather Monitor Model 74109, and then down here we have 4 icons. We have a picture of the sun, then we have a picture of a snowflake, then we have a picture of rain, and then a picture of a tornado, which is used on a piece of documentation in the box that tells you about the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. Then to the right we have, or really in the center, but to the right of the icons, we have our speaker. I think that's like a 3-inch speaker, but as you can see, it's kind of a weird position where I can't really measure it that well. So yeah. And then we have our alert LED, which will flash on and off when an alert comes in. And then on the bottom we have the 3 main buttons that operate the radio. There's nothing at all on the left side. On the right side, we have all of our inputs and outputs. So first we have our power switch, which also is a volume switch. Then we have our external alert port, which is compatible with the Midland 18STR. I'm not sure if it's compatible with the new STR180 strobe light or the SHKR100 bed shaker. It probably isn't. So I'd just say if you want to get an external alert strobe light for this radio, just get the 18STR. Midland still sells it for $20. So yeah. And also if you sign up for their text messages, you can be able to be notified whenever they have a deal where you can be able to get free shipping. And then also we have a external antenna port, which is in the RCA style. On the rear of the radio, all we have is the telescopic antenna and the holder for it. On the bottom of the radio, we have 2 plastic feet, which are also which double as hooks to be able to mount the radio on the wall. We have 2 switches here. The one here on the left is for selecting how you want the radio to alert you, whether on voice, LED alarm, or LED. And then you can also select your weather channel. And then over here in the top right corner, we have our battery slot, where we can put in our 9-volt battery as backup power. And then we have our sticker here, which shows you what the model number is, the FCC label we see on quite a lot of radios, serial number, and then next to that we have a air vent, and then down here we have 2 rubber feet. So yeah. So now, before I get into any of the features, I am going to give a few specifications about this radio and the 74-100 series. So with that being said, here we go with that. So some quick specifications about this radio. So obviously this is the 74-109, as I've said 2 or 3 times already. This radio was released, I believe, sometime in the late 80s, and was manufactured up until probably 1999. Because I do have a the Now, this radio didn't come brand new in box. It actually just came loose. It came just the unit. It didn't come with a power cable. Luckily, I did have a spare 12-volt power cable lying around that I'm able to use with it. So, yeah. Like I said, I believe this radio was released sometime in the late 80s, early 90s. I know that they manufactured this up until at least 1998, because I do have a box. Like I said, I didn't get this radio with a box, but I do have a box for a 74-109. Let me actually get it. Now, like I said, I didn't get this box with this radio. So, yeah. So, here's what the box would look like for a 74-109. This is most commonly what the box for the 74-109 will look like. There are some boxes that are a lot smaller, I think. I'm not sure. But there are multiple boxes that 74-109 came in with a little bit different design. So on the back, got some information, and then Midland Consumer Radio. This was back when they were still only manufacturing radios. They hadn't started manufacturing like action cameras or anything. Well, Midland no longer sells action cameras, but they used to. But yeah. So yeah, this was back when Midland was only making CB radios and weather radios. As you can see here on the back, Midland, model 74-109, and there is a barcode. Here is what it says on the left side. Now the right side of the box. On top, same thing. And here is why I said that they made these things up until at least 1998. I think it's this. Yes, it is. This is why I said that they made the 74-109 until at least 1998. As you can see here, this No Other Radio brochure that shows all the channels and stuff, and all the No Other Radio stations that are around at the time. As you can see here, revision February 1998. Oops. There goes the camera. That's why I said that they made these things up until at least 1998. And then here's the manual, the owner's manual, and there's also a thing. There's also the thing that comes with a lot of older Midland radios that talks about the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning, and also stuff about having a antenna put on your house. So yeah, I'm not sure when this particular 74-109 was made, or excuse me, was manufactured. There's no date code or any of that stuff. So, but I assume it was probably made sometime in the 1990s. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to get into will be the antenna. So, with that being said, here we go with that. So, the Siren on the Midland 74-109. Like most older radios, this does have a whale siren. You know, kind of like the siren on a fire truck or an ambulance. So, yeah. And then also I'm going to have to put my hand over the speaker, since the siren is so loud. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll go ahead and press the test button on top and sound it. Also, if you're wearing headphones or, you're watching this video on a computer and you're using computer speakers or a Bluetooth speaker or what have you, I recommend that you please turn down the volume. So, yeah, with that being said, here we go. So, yeah. So, the first feature I'm going to get into, well actually, the first thing I'm going to get into are going to be some specifications about this radio. So, you know, like when it was made and stuff. So, yeah. With that being said, here we go with that. So, the antenna on the 74109, it does have a telescopic antenna. Go ahead and raise it up. This one is having a little bit of problems because it's kind of bent. It has 6 links. So, yeah, and then it also does have the famous Midland dome. Well, actually, this one looks a little bigger, but it kind of has a similar dome to the more modern Midland radios. So, yeah. So the next thing I'm going to get into will be the reception. So, yeah. With that being said, here we go with that. So, just off topic, this is probably the shortest Radios in Depth episode so far. Because there's not really much to get into. So, like most older radios, like the, Uniden WX100, and the, and a couple other radios, this actually has the older, arrangement. It actually, instead of the normal arrangement where it goes from the lowest frequency to the highest frequency, this actually has it in the order that the frequencies started to be used. So it goes from 162.550 to 162.525. So yeah, go ahead and then, like most older radios, you press the weather button, turn on the broadcast, press the alert button, turn off. You can't press the weather button, turn off the broadcast. You have to press alert. So yeah, go and turn it on. So 162.550, KJY 95, Wewoka. Wrong switch. Obviously WXK 85. 162.475, this would be WXL 48 out of Enid. 162.425. Bleed through from WXK 85. Oh, I just realized something. Oh, never mind. .162.450. This would be KJ194, Chickasha. 162.500. This would be WG654 Stillwater. Then 162.525. This would be WXK7 out of Clinton. So yeah, can't really get anything. So the next thing I'm going to get into will be the button arrangement. So with that being said, here we go with that. So the button and slider control arrangement on the Midland 74109. So as you can see here on top, we have 3 buttons. We have the alert button, which you use to turn off the broadcast. The test button to sound the siren, or to test the siren, and then the weather button to turn on the broadcast. So, yeah. And then on the right side, we have the power/volume switch. If you turn it all the way to the left, or clockwise, it turns it off. And then if you turn it counterclockwise, then you'll raise the volume. And then also, I might as well go ahead and go over the arrangement of the inputs and outputs. So we have our external alert port here. You can use this. You can plug in a strobe light like the Midland 18 STR. I'm almost sure that this is not compatible with the Midland's new STR 100, or I'm sorry, STR 180 strobe light, or their new I think it's SHKR 100 bed shaker. It may work, but I'm not entirely sure. So I just say stick with the 18 STR. So yeah, and then we have our power jack, which is 12 volts instead of 9 volts, like most of the modern Midland radios. And it takes your standard barrel connection. And then we have our external antenna port. And I'm not sure if you can use this for self-activation. Personally, I don't really want to know. So, yeah. So the next thing I'm going to get into will be the speaker quality. I forgot to go over that. So the next thing will be the speaker quality. So with that being said, here we go with that. So speaker quality on the Midland 74109. Now, admittedly, I'm having to film this on my phone because for some reason the files keep corrupting on my SD card for some reason. Anyways, so speaker quality. Also, I'm having to use the power cable from my regular version 5 because the power cable I was using is having some problems. So yeah, overall the speaker quality on the Midland 74109 is pretty good. It doesn't sound the best, but I'm not sure how long this radio was in service before I got it. And plus you've got the siren blaring through there, so yeah, overall speaker quality is pretty good. So now I am going to get into my final thoughts / general opinion of this radio. So with that being said, here we go with that. So my final thoughts / general opinion on the Midland 74109. Overall, it's a pretty nice radio. I highly advise that you don't get it as your first ever weather radio. For multiple reasons that I'm not really going to get into. Well, actually, I will go into a few of them. For one thing, this is not a SAM radio or a specific area message encoding radio. So no matter what the alert is, or what counties it's for, it will go off. And also, the siren on it is very annoying. So, yeah. You can probably get it as your 4th or 5th radio. Maybe your 2nd, if you, depending on what radio you get as your 1st. But I advise that you get as maybe your 4th radio. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and have a nice day.